Hello everyone, and welcome back to Love Noir, an Adrien and Agreste dating simulator. Last week we had quite the emotion-filled episode where we professed our love for Noir and married him on the spot. And I almost died from laughing so hard. True story. Now, we keep going because I promised I would try out the other routes. And until I figure out Adrien's computer password, let's just go for Mr. Bug. You decide to call him Mr. Bug. As none of you have phones, and you have no idea where any of your duplicates might be, you settle in on opening your window and calling out for him at the top of your lungs. Oh, same as last time. Makes sense. Go ahead, awake the whole city. Oh, he's right there. You barely got the last word out when you find yourself suddenly face to face with identical emerald eyes, only this version of you is hanging upside down. Spider-Man? You jottle back. Ah! Hi! I didn't expect you to come so cayukely. Oh well. Or, well, at all, really. Mr. Bug shrugs, correcting his orientation and easily slides in through the crack in your window. I told you I wanted to see you again. I wasn't just saying that. Besides, I was, let's say, in the area? You've got good lungs, by the way. Doing what? A bit of this, a bit of that, mostly having a chat with our little Miss Lady. She's concerned I'm going to try and demoralize you, or something like that. The what? Talk about lack of faith. Just because I'm born from an Akuma doesn't mean I'm suddenly some terrible being. But no need to worry, Adrien. I swear I wouldn't do anything that you wouldn't. Spot's honor. Scout's honor? Yeah. Nice puns. He grins, holding up his hand with 3 fingers pointed up. 3? Okay. Don't worry, I trust you. You all but mutter the words, suddenly bashful. Don't worry, I trust you. Anyways, this isn't about your bugger from another mugger. Oh my god, that's hilarious. I came here to see you. What's new? Although now that you mention it, I guess everything's about the same as it always is then. What do you mean? You posed the question to empty air as Mr. Bug strides straight past you, perusing your room like he was walking around an art museum. Respectful and thoughtful. A very homey art museum where instead of pieces of art, it's just your furniture and piles of dirty laundry. Sneaky boy. You trail after him, keeping a few paces back. Yep, everything's about how I remember it. As far as my memory serves, that is... As far as my memory serves, that is... Well, that's boring then. Mr. Bug stops short, causing you to bump lightly into him. He turns, clapping his hands together resolutely. Let's go somewhere more interesting to talk. Who knows how long we've both been cooped up in this room anyway. Forever. You roll your eyes. Ugh. You don't need to tell me that. But are you sure it's a good idea to leave? Sure. Father's out of town this weekend anyway, isn't he? Plus, it's not like we haven't snuck out plenty of times before. This is the exact same dialogue as last week. Wink. Mr. Bug punctuates his sentence with a smile and a wink. Like you were conspiring together. Like you were partners in crime. Be gay, do crimes. And even though you had only met yesterday, it makes you feel just a little less lonely about all those nights you spent sneaking out to sit on deserted rooftops by yourself. You hadn't realized it then, but this part of you, the man standing in front of you now, had always been with you then, in some form. You feel a sudden pressure at your waist, and you barely have time to look down before Mr. Bug's arm is wrapped securely around you. At blinding speed, he carries you through the window, and the next moment you're being gently lowered out the window onto the street below by the cord of his yo-yo. And away! We're back at the ice rink again. It's so strange seeing myself, you, with that. It's just become so much of a part of Milady, I can't imagine anyone else with it. What, the yo-yo? I suppose. It's all this version of us has ever known, or that is to say me, so I don't really find it particularly odd. Although I will say it beats that baton chat noir carries any day. You know, I'd always had my suspicions that the yo-yo was better. Ladybug always seems so effortlessly faster than me, you know. And I won't lie, that staff can be a nightmare to handle sometimes. That's what he said. Seeing as I'm not him, I'm not entirely familiar with Shah's Miraculous, but it does seem a bit less convenient, but so much more sexy. Anyhow, do you have any preferences where we spend the afternoon? I can't think of anything off the top of my head, no. Again, same dialogue. Fantastic. I know the perfect place then. Come on. Well, Shah took me to the movies. Where are you taking me? Without warning, Mr. Bug takes your hand firmly in his, continuing forward at a quick pace. You feel your cheeks color, but he doesn't seem to notice. He doesn't even need to tug that hard as he drags you along. You'd happily follow him anywhere, if you were being honest. I'm sorry, if you're yang honest. I shouldn't really be so nitpicky about typos. Mr. Bug stops after a short while in front of a small corner cafe that was about halfway between your house and the school. Releasing you from his grip, he places both hands on his hips proudly. Haha. The hand he released twitches, uncomfortable at the sudden absence of warmth and weight in your palm. But it would definitely make things weird if you asked Mr. Bug to hold your hand again, so you just let it twitch away. The cafe itself is small, quaint, but has a lot of charm. Several tables with umbrellas are set up out front, and peering inside the large paned windows reveal an order and pick-up style venue. I hope those tables are displayed with the required distance between each other. Social distancing, my dudes. Wow, this looks great. Mr. Bug claps you cheerily on the shoulder. Go find a table and wait here. I'm going to get us some food. Oh no, I can pay for myself. You are, aren't you? I've got you covered. He shoots you another wink before disappearing through the front door. It takes you a good second to catch your breath, your heart rate having long since rocketed through the roof. Adrien has a coronary 2020. How the hell could someone be so charming, have the ability to reduce you to a standing pile of jitters and nerves with just one wink? It's a mystery. Natural charm, boy. Sorry. Actually, finding a table is simple enough. There are only 3, all of which stand totally vacant. It was starting to warm up outside, so you'd wager a guess that most of the patrons were indoors trying to escape the heat. But you weren't bothered by a little warm weather, and you're sure neither was the other version of you. Is summer in Paris hot? I mean, hotter than usual? I don't know. I hear their winters are really cold. You weren't kept waiting long, Mr. Bug appearing no less than 5 minutes later, balancing 2 coffee mugs and a pastry box. Yes, Adrien is finally going to eat! The fandom has its day. Need any help with those? Don't worry, I got this. What use is having super senses if you can't carry a couple lattes and a chocolate croissant? Ooh, chocolate croissant! After Mr. Bug somehow manages to get everything to the table in one piece, you take a tentative sip of the latte he hands you. Oh wow, this is great. Yes, it's coffee. Everything about coffee is great. No, just what you'd like, because I got myself the same thing. Same hat. You take another sip. How do you even know about this place? I never even noticed it. It's right on the street Gorilla takes me on the drive to school, too. I must have passed it 100 times without ever realizing. It's a little hidden, definitely. I only caught sight of it by chance on my way over today. Guess I just got lucky it was any good. You chuckle. Glad to know you're taking risks on me. Oh, how cute. Of course. He sounds extremely serious. A moment passes, and you're caught by the sudden realization of just how close your face is to Mr. Bug's. You're practically bumping noses. Kiss. You lean back quickly. Aw, man! Cheeks heating as you realize you have been subconsciously leaning across the table. You immediately start chugging your latte to hide your shame. Oh, Adrien. It's been getting awfully hot out lately, huh? Yeah, talk about the weather. Oldest excuse in the book. Must be. You've turned redder than my suit. Ha 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 ha. Mr. Bug wears an impish grin. This only worsens things, and you swear you must have turned all the way purple when you suddenly begin choking on your coffee. This causes Mr. Bug to break into laughter, leaving you to clean yourself up from the onslaught of brown liquid you spewed on the table. Clean up on aisle 4. Here, I think you missed a spot. Ha. What? No, You cut yourself off as Mr. Bug takes a napkin from the table, using it to gently dab at your cheek. Aww. Gathering up some of the liquid you missed. So cute. Even though the contact isn't direct, you can feel the careful pressure of his fingers against your skin. Suddenly you're feeling lightheaded again. Oh, you're gonna die by the end of this. This is so where to next? You shoot up like a bullet the second Mr. Bug retracts his hand, words blurring together as you quickly blurt them out. Now that he brought attention to the obvious blush on your face, you feel like you can't get it to go away, no matter how desperately you want it to. Mr. Bug shrugs nonchalantly. Up to you. I'm up for anything. As long as we're together, I'm happy. Model boyfriend. Oh, I guess the same for me then? We should probably go somewhere that won't draw too much attention then. I'm more of a pinch hero anyway, so that shouldn't be too huge of an issue. How about the park? Where everyone can see us. That one Mr. Remier is always hanging around. Sounds good to me. Well then, shall we go? Mr. Bug stands, his chair scraping dully against the stone pavement. He extends a hand to you, making a clear offer to take it this time. You look at the hand, and after a beat meet his eyes, he offers you another smile that makes you feel warm and fuzzy. Oh. Will this, change anything? Well, obviously I'm gonna take his hand. You gently lower your hand into his. It's warm and heavy, and fills the hole that had been formed in your chest in its absence. He doesn't pull you this time. Doesn't seem in any rush at all, as you walk onto the peaceful street in the late afternoon sun. So how's life been? You tell me, we're the same person. You would know the answer to as well as me. He laughs. Guess that's true. Things have been pretty buggy these last couple of days though. Just wanted to make sure you were holding up alright. You ain't kidding. Oh god, you guys are made for each other. Mr. Bug falters a moment before continuing forward strongly. Deep, throaty laughter fills his lungs. Spot on response, Adrien, although I'd expect nothing less. Oh boy, what is this now? You're pretty perfect too, bud. That's possibly the most accurate thing you've said all day. I've been told I'm the cat's meow. You ain't half bad yourself, kitten. Which is the wittiest and flirtiest response? This is kind of insulting. This is just plain conceited. This is okay, but this is perfect. This only seems to make Mr. Bug laugh harder, clutching his stomach with both hands. You grin. You good there? Alright, I can accept when I'm beat, don't bug. Puns are an Agreste constant despite the circumstances, it would seem. Anyway, I think cat puns are a lot easier to cough up than insect turns of phrases. I get it. Very true. Although that last was a bit of a stretch. Don't be getting slopping on me now. We have a standard to uphold. Fair enough. We can't all be comedic geniuses all the time, you know. I mean, you and I can, but even prodigies like us have to let our hair down from time to time. You're a riot, Adrien. Oh, me, you're adorable. Thanks, me. You're welcome, me. So tell me, how do you like it? What, the park? What, being a comedic genius? It's alright, I guess. The pressure gets a little exhausting at times, always having to be the one carrying the conversations with Milady, but... No, that's not what I meant. Sorry, I wasn't very clear. How do you like the whole hero thing? You chew your lower lip as you pass the main gate that leads into the park. Oh, that park. Aren't you me, though? I mean, we share memories, don't we? To an extent, sure. Mr. Bug turns thoughtful as he muses, turning his gaze to the trees passing above you. Soft apples of sunlight cross his face, earning him spots on more than just his uniform. It's less than I remember being Chat Noir, or you for that matter, and more than I have a vague impression that I once was these things. But since I'm the version of you under the influence of the Ladybug Miraculous, anything that doesn't pertain to you being Mr. Bug becomes a bit fuzzy. Furthermore, I've only been out a couple times, so my knowledge of most things is, well, rather lacking. You chew your lower lip again, crossing your arms loosely over your chest as you give his answer some serious thought. Eventually, you shrug. I mean, being Chat Noir is pretty great. I guess I haven't really thought about it too much about it. It's freeing. Sure looks like it. It's sort of weird talking about it with someone that I've been playing, honestly. And you know how he is, or I guess maybe you don't? Well enough to know he's no help. Jeez, right? Figures I'd be the one stuck with the laziest Kwame. Ladybugs, or I guess yours too, is just so nice. I used to think they were all useless, cheese-addicted bums, but that's not the case at all. I just got the short straw. Poor Clyde. Oh well, better I have to deal with it than Ladybug, I guess. Don't say that. You deserve happiness too, Adrien, not just Ladybug. Mr. Bug stops, turning to you. The two of you are secluded in a small canopy of arching trees, the area clear of pedestrians or nosy Parisians. The late afternoon sun dances playfully across Mr. Bug's face, highlighting his intense, bright, smoldering, molten green emerald orbs. That's a lot of adjectives. You feel your heart stutter, and you quiver beneath the sudden touch of his strong, meaty, yaoi hands with your shoulders. All Adrien's versions have yaoi hands, apparently. You deserve to be happy. Oh, this song again. And I, Adrien, I'm not sure how to put this, but ever since we met, haven't been able to get you out of my head. I've been obsessed with you for literally my entire existence. You mean everything to me, and I know this may sound crazy, but I don't care. Adrien Agreste, I want to be with you. Oh my god. I feel the exact same way. It's not crazy. You do weird things to my head. I feel more complete when I'm around you. Like I found my missing piece. I can be myself around you. Adrien. Oh, hold on. Let me do this properly. Will you marry me? You watch with bated breath and tears in your eyes. Lucky charm! Oh wait, I can do that better. Lucky charm! A small red spy box falls into his open palms. Oh my god, I was just kidding. Is this really happening? You clap your hands to your mouth, completely stricken as he lowers himself to the ground on one knee. Slowly, he opens the box, revealing an equally red and spotted ring. You can't help the small, happy yelp that escapes your mouth. Oh my goodness. Adrien Agreste, I love you more than time and space, and I want to spend my whole life with you. Will you do me the honor of making me the happiest bug in Paris and marry me? Yes, yes! Oh my god. Just take me now, you spotty hunk! Oh, thank god. Adrien, I love you so much. Mr. Bug leaps forward, tackling you to the ground in a giant bugbear hug. All either of you seem to be able to do for a long time is lie on the ground on each other's arms, laughing and crying in equal measure. We're getting married again. I love this these editing, like, I swear to God. It was strange at first, waking up every day to a masked, smiling face, but it wasn't a bad strange, and you quickly became accustomed to it. Mr. Bug adored you. There was hardly a moment passed that the two of you weren't together, and even when you were separated, he would stoically watch you from afar. He took good care of you, and the both of you enjoyed a long, happy life together, retiring to the countryside after you finished school, leaving your life of modeling and superheroing behind you. Mr. Bug never did de-transform, and after using his lucky charm, but the details hardly mattered to you. You were just grateful to have him in your life. A life that turned out to be just as lucky and charming as the bug you'd fallen for. Who knew? Maybe you just had a thing for spots? Oh god. Oh wait, another bad ending? Which is the good ending? It can't be the Shablong ending, can it? I'm so confused. Okay, and that's it for the Mr. Bug route. Next week I'll be playing the Shablong route, which is the only one I'm missing, and maybe I'll figure out Adrien's password in the meantime. If you happen to know which one it is, if you play the game yourself, please let me know. Either on the comments or like send me a message or whatever. I really want to get the good ending. I don't know if it's going to be the Shablong ending. I'm pretty scared that it might be. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week. Bye!